All right. Welcome, Mike. How you doing today? Thanks for being here.
I'm doing amazing.
That's great to hear. So, Mike, your book talks about kind of the unglamorous reality of entrepreneurship. What's the difference between building a company now versus, say, building one when you started Buddy Media back in 2007?
Yeah, so most of it's the same. We're still starting companies, even though we've had $10 billion worth of exits. We are as hungry as we've ever been, both on the investor side and starting businesses. And in general, most everything that matters has stayed the same. Mm-hmm. So it's hard work. It's doing it every day, every week, every month, every quarter. It's a law of just compounding time and good things happen. There's only so much you could do in one day. But give me 5 years and I could move mountains, right? And so all of the concepts that are in the book about, this idea of shoveling shit and learning to love it and picking the right co-founders and picking the right markets and building cultures that stick, all that's the same. What is different is I feel like I am playing the latest CSGO versus the Nintendo that I grew up on. And what that means is we're playing expert mode. The pace of change and the speed of the game is faster.
Oh, yeah.
The barriers to entry are lower. Anyone can fire it up and compete. When we started, things moved a little slower, right? Mm-hmm. Like technology launched once a year at the CES show in Vegas.
Right.
Now it launches 3 times a day and you can't keep up.
Yeah.
So AI, the new model, is coming out every 13 minutes. And so you have to be willing to move fast, to throw things out, and to work at a pace that, frankly, I didn't have to work at, early internet when I launched.
Is that kind of a ramp up to work at that new pace? I feel like a lot of the thoughtfulness is the same to what you're saying, but I guess the timelines have shrunk a bit, maybe.
Yeah, the timelines of like how many mistakes you're going to make. It used to be maybe once a week. Now you're going to make 3 a day. And when I say mistakes is you may miss something that you should focus on that bites you in the ankle, right? You may do something because you got to move fast that breaks your whole stack. And especially in this world of AI where it's a black box. So if you're kind of coding and you're using AI as your co-pilot, which I'm doing now through platforms like Lovable and others, then you don't really know how it works. Especially if you're a journalism major like me building.
Oh, same. I'm also a journalism major. So let's talk about getting a business idea, validating that idea right now. So you have a business idea this year. How do you validate that? What's kind of your framework for finding that white space where nobody's occupying?
Yeah, it's never been easier to validate ideas because you could do 2 things that used to be very hard: rapid prototyping and real-time feedback. And it doesn't matter what business you're in. I just met with the founder of Van Leeuwen Ice Cream, and they're launching a retail test kitchen where customers will be paying to test the latest flavors and see them create new ice cream flavors. Wow. Now, this is a great experience if you like ice cream like I do. I love ice cream. If you are an ice cream company, getting feedback from 50 people the second you make the product is incredible with AI, digital tools, with AI helping you on the customer feedback and the consumer insight side, companies like Suzy, that you could get feedback from customers within 13 seconds. You can move as quickly as you've ever moved to figure out what's going to stick, and then you could test out different marketing campaigns to drive to landing pages like we did at Liquid Death to figure out that brand. And that's how you kind of figure out, oh, not only is this a big market and I have a plan for it, but this is a product that is resonating.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what blows my mind. Most people are sitting around waiting for their boss to give them a raise, while millionaires are building income streams in their spare time. Entrepreneur and creator Marina Magilko cracked the code on this. She built more than 10 income streams that now pull in over $100,000 a month. She shared the secret sauce with our team, so now we're sharing it with you, exactly how she did it. This guide gives you practical step-by-step strategies you can actually implement. So just pick just one income stream from her guide and watch what happens. Stop what you're doing right now and grab it in the show notes 6 months from now, and you'll be glad you did.
What kind of knowledge gaps do you see in entrepreneurs today that people aren't really taking advantage of as much as you'd like? I feel like back in the day, you saw that social media was a big thing that a lot of people weren't taking advantage of in the kind of early to late 2000s. But now, is there something that you kind of look to and you're like, I wonder why people aren't really capitalizing on this as much?
Yeah. So what we've seen over history is anyone who gets the future faster wins. So those companies that would deliver through the car versus horse and buggies, won. Companies that use cleaner, faster energy, won. Whoever has the faster network that's more reliable wins, right? Mm-hmm. And so the same thing's happening that happened with the internet, right? You needed to have a website. Then social media, you needed to have a social presence. It's happening with AI, data, and technology today. And unlike the past where it was a nice have, this is existential. Mm-hmm. And so there's a huge gap in understanding how to ethically and effectively integrate AI into everyday business. I'm not talking about tech companies. I own a staffing firm, an executive search firm. We're using it throughout the business to find customers, to find candidates, to vet candidates. And we're not losing that human touch. That's what the recruiter, the human recruiter's for, right? Mm-hmm. So we think that we will be an executive search firm that can deliver for our customers faster, better candidates. And most of it is using machine learning and AI.
I feel like that's a great area that a lot of people are trying to get into and trying to use. And I think what you said makes a lot of sense, that you don't have to be a tech company to use it, right? It could help you automate emails. It could help you reach out to more people, do more cold calls. Like there could always be something that you could look to it for right now. And if you're not capitalizing, I feel like you should be. Now, when you look to hire people, say you've scaled your company enough that you want to start hiring, what are the qualities you look for in hiring your first 10 employees today?
There are no better hires than student athletes. I'll put that out there. I love athletes in general.
Cool.
They know how to practice. They know how to be team members. They know how to dedicate themselves. They typically can listen. In most sports, you're kind of constantly seeing what your team members are doing. And so what comes out of that is kind of grit, right? And a growth mindset. There's no athlete I know who's not like, I got to get better. And it's not just athletes, it's moms and it's the military. Those are the two others. These are people who wear multiple hats. They thrive in chaos, and they need to be problem solvers who are passionate about their mission and their role within the team. And we've just had incredible luck. And it's no surprise that the great love of my life and my business partner and co-author, Cass Lazerow, is a 2-sport athlete from college and then played professional tennis. So, I've just grown. I didn't appreciate it at the beginning, but I just love that. And what that means is don't look for credentials, look for accomplishments. Mm-hmm. I don't care that you went to Harvard. That actually may hurt you. You may be entitled, right? I'm going to go into that interview saying, wow, this person from Harvard, MIT, Yale, it's all about what's it for them. I like people from Oswego, from Arizona State, from Fresno State, who have really struggled a little and come out the other side as gritty, kick-ass people.
Totally. And talking about the founder specifically, what role do you think the founder should play in sales and marketing now? I feel like it's kind of changed a lot, and the role of the founder has taken a bit of a change over the last 10 years. So what should they be doing right now? Should they be like the face of the brand? How should they interact with their audience?
Really, the first 3 things a founder has to do is not run out of money, not run out of money, and not run out of money. So start there, because nothing else matters, right? Like, give a great founder a few bucks and a vision and a shovel, and they're going to make it happen. At the same time, founders need to be chief storytellers. It's your job to create the origin story, to create the vision for where you're going, And if you're not involved in crafting the narrative and building that authentic story, that backstory, and how your solution solves problems in the market, you're going to be crushed. And your story's your brand. No one can tell it with more authenticity than you. And as a marketing and content founder, right, I went to journalism school. I had to get comfortable with technology, and it was hard for me. We are all comfortable with technology now. I'm seeing that most founders are not comfortable with storytelling. So all of a sudden, these engineers who are starting companies need to take marketing classes,
Right.
which I love, because we were, as a marketing people, we were always like, oh, what do they know about technology? They're not engineers. Well, in a world where, AI has democratized technology, if you're a technologist, you better learn how to be a storyteller, if not a world-class marketer.
Sure. I mean, if everybody can make what you're making, if everybody can code the same thing that you're coding, you have to present it differently, right? You have to market it well.
And that's the difference between companies that will make it, companies that won't. I met, the founder who does AI interviewing for staffing firms. I said, this is really cool. How many competitors do you have? 61 known funded competitors.
Wow.
So who's going to win? The one with 10% better technology or the one with 1,000x marketing?
If you had to just kind of start over today, $0, no network, you don't know nobody, what would you do step by step to build a company right now?
Yeah, so I would do the same thing that I do every time I start a company, which typically doesn't take a lot of money, if any money. And it's just start by identifying a problem that you're qualified to solve. And the problem could be as easy as like, there's no good pizza place on my block, to I want to put a robot in outer space, to kind of solve the space junk issue. You start by identifying it, and then you look at kind of answering 6 questions. So not only what the product is, why is it different? It has to be different. How many customers are there? It has to be a big market. And 4, it's how are you going to market it, which you may not have thought about in the past, but if you don't have built-in marketing, it's not going to work. How are you going to distribute it, and do the financial model make sense? And whatever you're doing, you have to leverage storytelling from the beginning. Build the network, let your ideas sell the product, and start with behind the scenes. Get everything on video, how you're thinking, what you're trying to do, because that is your marketing going forward.
Totally. Yeah, building it from the ground up, having people looking at it from beginning to end, I think is a great idea, showing the people what you're thinking, especially if it's something that you're super passionate about and a problem that you personally have. I feel like people will always be on that wavelength. You'll always find somebody with the same issue.
The other advice I'd give is, we're spending a lot of our time buying cash flow companies, which may sound weird for someone who's made all their money in tech and, is a venture capitalist. And I've never seen better opportunities for very little money, if no money down. There's a lot of money for small kind of acquisitions, government loans and others. And so if I had nothing and no network, I may start there. Just walk down Main Street, talk to businesses, and you find like a lot of them are owned by 65 to 80-year-olds who have no one to pass it off to. And with your ideas, with your hustle, with your marketing, you could wake up in 5 years with a business that does 10 million in sales and 7 million of profit, and, best decision you've ever made.
Yeah, totally. Well, Mike, appreciate the advice. Thank you for everything today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and hope to have you back sometime soon. Good luck with the book launch as well.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And thank you for everything that, the hustle's done over the years. I can't tell you how just inspirational some of the first AI stuff I got was from the hustle way back when. And so what you're doing for entrepreneurs, being, we're in a world of not information overload, but filter failure. And your filter is just saving us all a lot of time. So thank you.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Thank you, Mike. Okay, that's going to do it for us today, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. For We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at thehustledaily. We'll catch you later.